How to order HTML headings. There are proper ways to use headings, and if you get it wrong, you could end up confusing users and search engines without even knowing it. Fortunately, the rules are simple. Hierarchy is an important concept in UX. The correct ordering of headings promotes good hierarchy in a natural way. By using headings the right way, you'll be creating a hierarchy that helps ensure your content has a logical flow that is easy for users to understand. Users with accessibility needs, such as those who use screen readers, greatly benefit because they can skip through headings instead of reading through everything. If your headings are wrong, those users will find it hard to navigate through your page. SEO is also affected by headings. Search engines look at headings to understand what the main points of your content are, which can make you more or less relevant for certain search terms. Plus, Google factors in accessibility into its rankings, so cleaning up your headings to improve accessibility will also improve your SEO. Let's move on to the rules. To make it simple, I like to compare headings on a web page to an essay outline. Remember in school when you had to create an outline before writing an essay? That skill is finally going to come in handy. Let's take a look at an example of an outline for an imaginary article called The Best Marketing Tips for Success. From the outline, you can see that the article is broken into 3 sections. Know your audience, spread the word, and gather feedback. You can also see all the subtopics inside each of those sections. That's exactly how headings should be used. Let's go over the basic rules and use this outline as an example. Rule number 1, start with H1. Think of H1 as the title of your page. It summarizes what the entire page is about. If it's a contact page, the H1 could be Contact Us. Or if it's an article like our example article, the H1 would be The Best Marketing Tips for Success. While there's no penalty for using multiple H1s on a single page, it's cleaner and will keep you more organized if you stick to just one. Rule number 2, work your way from H1 to H6. See how the indentations increase as you get deeper into a section? That directly maps to heading tags. Every level deeper of indentation is another level deeper for headings. H2 is one level deeper than H1. H3 is one level deeper than H2, and so on. That also means that H3 is 2 levels deeper than H1. Think of every heading as its own section. H1 is the largest section, which contains all the content of the page. H2 is a subsection within H1, and H3 is a subsection within H2. That means while all H3s are on the same level, they are not all within the same H2 section. So for our example, know your audience, spread the word, and gather feedback will all be H2s. The next level within those will be H3s, then finally H4s. The deepest level available in HTML is H6, but you don't have to go that deep if your content doesn't require it. There's no benefit to going all the way to H6 unless it makes sense for your content. Rule number 3, don't skip headings. This one is pretty simple. Don't ever skip a heading level on the way down. It is semantically incorrect to do that. It doesn't make any sense to go from an H2 to an H4, for example. In that case, the H4 should be an H3. It is perfectly fine to have an H2 after an H4 though, since that means you're starting a new section at the H2 level. It makes a lot of sense when you visualize it as an outline like this one. Rule number 4, headings are for semantics, not style. Don't use a heading tag to make some text look a certain way. A common design practice is to make H1s the largest available font. Then H2 is a little smaller, H3 is even smaller, and so on. That's a great technique because it helps create a visual hierarchy that matches the semantic hierarchy provided by the heading tags. However, many people will either choose a heading tag because it comes with a certain style, or even worse, they will use a heading tag for text that shouldn't even be a heading. That is a surefire way to mess up the correct order of your headings. Instead, you should decouple the design of your headings from the heading tags. This can easily be done with CSS classes. For example, instead of defining CSS specifically for each of the 6 heading tags, you can instead create 6 heading classes, such as heading-1, heading-2, etc. Then use those on your heading tags. If the correct heading tag to use is an H3, but you want it to look like an H4 for whatever reason, then you would apply the heading 4 class to your H3 tag. That way you get the semantically correct heading while having it look the way you want it. Those are the basic rules to having correctly ordered headings. It may seem inconsequential because most users aren't going to know what heading tags you used, but you will benefit from better SEO, better accessibility, and better structured content.